I'd have to say Animal Crossing. And I know what you're going to say. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing doesn't have paid DLC. Hi, I'm Ghost from GhostszMusic.com, and you're listening to The Dev Room. But first, let's hear from our sponsors. Today's episode is sponsored by GhostszMusic.com, the only place for developers to learn how to create their own video games, be better developers, as well as have a greater understanding and dialogue about being a better developer. So today I want to talk about extending the life of your game and how do we do that. I think one of the best ways that game developers or AAA studios or even indie game devs actually have found of extending the life of the game is through DLC. And today I want to dive deep into that. I want to actually have a conversation. Maybe it's just going to be one-sided, but this one I want you guys to actually dive deep and have that conversation in the comment section below. If you're listening on Anchor, you can always leave me a voice comment. I really want to have this into an actual dialogue. Maybe we can turn this into a series. So DLC, I know a lot of people have mixed opinion about it, but when DLC is done right, it's so refreshing because it births a new story for your game, and it actually extends the life more than I would think multiplayer would. Multiplayer is good, don't get me wrong. Look at Grand Theft Auto 5. Multiplayer is probably the one of the ways that you can extend life because you add events, people actually go through with these events, everybody has fun. It's a win-win because you're playing with friends, you're making everything fun. But I think DLC has been pushed to the back burner because it's now everyone does it. Everyone does it, from microtransactions of the normal DLC packs to whatever. But DLC has always been a friend of just game development in general. Think about it. My favorite example for DLC extending life is Little Big Planet. Think about when Little Big Planet first came out and when you were actually completing the storyline, right? And the first pack of the first DLC came out. We're not talking about the little skins. We're not talking about the little outfits. I'm talking about the full-fledged DLC that was like $6, $6 or $7, and it was Metal Gear Solid. And you actually got a whole bunch of levels. I think it was 3 to 5 levels that added Metal Gear Solid Snake and little adventures or just like mini little playthroughs, and it made you feel like, oh man, if I replay this, I can go and unlock this, I can get this. And it made the game more fun. And even if it added 3 to 5 hours of content, think about it. You played 40 hours and you got an extra 5 hours for what, $5 or $6? Think about it. You got players to come back essentially and engage with your content that otherwise, after they were probably done, they probably wouldn't have come back. Or even think about, I think another good example of DLC done right, I'd have to say Animal Crossing. And I know what you're gonna say. Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing doesn't have paid DLC of downloadable content. It's not paid for, but it is free content that you have to download and update the game to have access to. And think about all the months and all the actual updates that the gracious guys in Nintendo give you, and how much more hours of enjoyment that you have with the game now, because I've seen people online rack up 2 to 250 hours in Animal Crossing because now there's new DLC, there's new fish, there's new activities to do, and it even if it breeded 50 hours more to the game, that's 50 hours of people actually playing the game and having fun. And that's all you can really ask for as a developer, is people engaging with your content and actually having some sort of enjoyment, education, or just having fun. It doesn't always have to be about profits and money. Yeah, as developers, we kind of need the money to make more products, but if people are more willing to play with your game, they're more likely to tell their friends to purchase said game so they can have fun with their friends. So at the end of the day, word of mouth. And even if somebody has played the game and not had fun with it, DLC gives it a way of shaking it up and adding, fun to a game that otherwise wouldn't have been as fun. I want you to think of Destiny, the first Destiny, vanilla Destiny. Think about the times that you played the game and it was boring. Because to be honest, that vanilla Destiny was fucking boring as hell. It wasn't exciting. It was kind of mediocre. It was average at best. And they released the first wave of DLC, and it made things better. Then they released the second one, which was the last one that made everything a lot better. And it actually made things fun to play, and it made people actually want to continue to play the game, especially year 2. If it wasn't for DLC, that game would have been dead. It would have been dead on arrival. Yes, people had bought it. People were okay with it, but it wouldn't have had the user base or even the players that it did at the end of the day. Destiny 2 has proven that. But I just want you to really think about just DLC in a different light. I don't want you to think about, well, it has to be paid or it has to be something that increases the game for many, many hours. It could be something very simple, but you need to utilize it to get people to come back. You want them to continue playing as long as possible. It doesn't mean that you have to create filler content. That's not what I'm saying at all. I want you to think about it as extending the shelf life of your game. Even if it's just a couple levels like Little Big Planet, or you're going to shake things up like Destiny, or you're just going to add endless amounts of content like Animal Crossing, which I don't even know how they do it. But just think about it in that sort of light, where everything you do helps your players and your user base have more enjoyment with the product that you've created. Game, software, whatever, even website, whatever you create, just think about it as that, where you're helping people have more fun with whatever you made. And with that one, I would love to hear what you're doing to get them to continue playing or continue using whatever you're making. And with that one, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.